Welcome to the audience worldwide. You're at DPS, Dayton Public Schools, The Next Level. This is season 3. And I wish you could have seen the conversation before we actually got on tape. I mean, this is going to be a heck of an episode, I tell you right now. I'm here with operations. I want to, first of all, start off by saying, in all seriousness, I started my career back in Dayton Public Schools as a business manager. It is the single biggest thing that I've done in my career. It really made me, put me in a position to be a complete superintendent. Spending a year there working with the operations folks, I learned so much about school that I didn't know. It's one thing to be a teacher, one thing to be a principal, another thing to work in curriculum, athletics, blah, blah, blah. But until you work in operations, you cannot be a complete superintendent. And I feel so comfortable with these guys on here. They're going to tell us about the things that they do that you don't see, that I didn't see before I started working there. So I'm going to have my guys introduce themselves, starting with Eric to my left. You're right if you're watching.
I am Eric. I am the electrical foreman.
I'm Earl Sanders. I'm the Director of Fleet Services.
Tim Couvert, Logistics.
Raphael Seaman, DPS Carpenter.
My name's Anthony Young. I'm plumbing foreman for DPS.
So I mentioned before, this was seminal for my career, working in operations. Operations folks see things. They see everything. You think they're not there, but they are. You think they're not looking, but they are. So they catch everything. So tell me something, Anthony. What is it when you're kind of out and about in buildings? What are some of the things that you see when you're out in buildings?
Well, I got put on the spot first. Well, some of the things I see how the students interact with us, actually. I was telling you before in a previous conversation, I love to go to the elementaries where the babies are. And because first thing they see, they'll ask you questions, because their kids are so just curious by nature. So first thing you'll get is like, oh, what you're fixing, what you're doing. Well, why is that? You know, and you're like, hey, man. Like, oh, well, I'm fixing the sink. Can I help? And you be like, no, you can't. So, I mean, it's like, it's rewarding in that fact. And I'm actually a product of DPS, Meadowdale Lions. I'm just going to throw that out there, you know, I'm just saying. So, you know, it's a little bit more important because when I see these kids, I see myself through there. And so, you know, I come through the district, I see kids of all ages, of different buildings, and it kind of becomes like, I don't know. It's just like you feel like a part of yourself is out there, and you're watching yourself grow up all over again. And so, like we see when they're bad. Yeah. So you know, but you also see the goodness in it and the innocence in them. So you know, it's pretty cool to watch.
E, what do you see out there?
You know, I see kids ready to learn. They're coming to school. It's not what I see. It's what they see in me. So we try to go
like that.
in and be professional and give high fives and make sure they have a good learning environment and go from there.
Earl, you're over there in fleet management. I know you don't get a chance to get to the buildings a lot, but you're with, obviously, I think there are two things that you have to do to run schools. Again, I learned this in operations. As important as we think teachers are, if there is no transportation and no food, there's no school.
That's correct.
That's how that works.
That's
Done.
correct.
It's a wrap.
That's
Cancel
correct.
Christmas. So over there in fleet service, what do you see?
So days that the temperature is under, let's say, 10 degrees, the mechanics, they're coming in early to start the buses because without the buses, the drivers can't pick up our kids. So that's very important for us, safety and making sure the kids get there. So, yeah.
Timmy C, what you see out there when you're riding around all day?
I'm in logistics, so I have the pleasure of walking into each building at least 3 times a week. It's nice to see from Rosa Parks to the high schools how the schools are run differently. I think that's pretty neat myself.
Absolutely.
Now, Raphael, you get a chance to work down here with the big dogs. I mean, you work everywhere, but you
Yeah, I
get a
work
chance to work
everywhere.
down here with the big dogs. And I want to tell you that I have a photo of you working. It's hanging in my office, and I will look at it every Saturday. I said, there he is working. I'm going Wait, got to actually shout at him working.
On Saturday.
Yes, I'm like Bigfoot. You don't see me too often, but you know work's getting done behind the curtains. Yes.
You said behind the curtains is getting done.
Yes.
So tell the audience what you do.
Like I said, I'm a DPS carpenter. I'm working all the buildings, but I am primarily at Ludlow 2, and I show up. I like to make everybody in the building happy with their area. I'm very accommodating. I cater to everybody and make sure that everybody has their personal space and their place. They're enjoying work, and I do everything I can to make their days go by good.
I want to tell you, Raphael is like the mayor of Ludlow 2. He sees and knows and sees things. I have to tell this story. I love to tell stories, and I see my staff in the back smiling because I get to tell these stories. And of course, when you're in charge, I mean, people laugh at the stories whether they're funny or not. But this really is a good story. So I left my personal vehicle at Ludlow last week on Friday night, and so it was here all night. And then I was dropped off that morning by my soon-to-be wife. She dropped me off because I come to work every Saturday. And Raphael was here before I got here, so he saw my car. And so when he saw me, he said, "Man, you're not even married yet, and you're already cheating."
That's something you would say.
That sounds like
So I want to let Raphael and the viewing audience know I was not out all night somewhere else cheating. I just didn't drive my car home that night. So Megan, you heard it here first. I wasn't out all night. Raphael's trying to get me in trouble already.
I thought it was a guys poker night. I'm sorry, I didn't say cheating. I said if you need an alibi, just let me know in advance and I can cover for you.
See, that's operations, audience. That's operations. They can't control themselves. So, hey, listen, you all. I talked about food service and transportation, and that being like critical to the work we do. But there's something else. Again, operations writ large. It's an amazing space where you punch an FMX ticket and it goes out into the electronic ether. And before you know it, people show up and you say, "Hey, I want something delivered. Hey, I want my truck for service. I'm going to give it back to you Tuesday, I promise. Hey, I've got something that's broken in the bathroom. Hey, I need something hung." Whatever it is, you just punch that button and it goes out, and then boom, magically, you all show up. So talk to us about the process of how you make sure the district runs and how things are fixed.
So first thing I look at is emergency work orders. Mm-hmm. So, if you have lights out in a school or lights out at Ludlow, which one do I go to first? Obviously, the schools come first.
That's right. Leave my lights out.
Yeah. So, you obviously pan between your work orders. What do I have? Okay, this one needs done first. This one needs done second. So I have 4 other electricians in my shop. I come in every morning, hand out the work orders. If we have maybe a project going on or something, hey, get this done at the school first, and then meet me here and we'll get the project started or whatever. So always dictate which work orders come first for priority, and then make sure they get done timely manner, clean up good, and get everything taken care of.
Tell the viewing audience how many lights we have in this district.
Lights or clocks? I know
I'm
you're
sorry.
thinking
I'm sorry.
clocks.
I'm sorry. Yeah, clocks. How many clocks do we have in this district?
We have 2,635 clocks.
2,635 clocks. Thank you. Not lights, clocks. 2,630. Let that sink in. And they all have to be serviced. And that's one of the things I look at when I walk in buildings. I send a text message to Rick all the time and say, "Hey, man, this clock is not right." So, there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every clock's got at least 2 batteries. So you figure we're actually, with the kids being out of school today at Valerie, we're changing out the entire building. Batteries were put in 2019, so they're starting to fail on us. So
Wow.
I got my guys there changing
Almost
out all the
3,000 clocks, I tell you. Earl, what's it look like when they put that little ticket in? What happens over there in fleet service?
All right, so for us, a lot of the buses, if there's an issue with the bus, whether it's safety or something minor as a light bulb, we dictate which one gets serviced first. So the bus driver will let us know over the radio, will let us know that what kind of issue they're having. If it's a headlight, of course, trumps everything else because you got to see the kids in the road if there's an issue. So we pull them in. If you have an issue with your Bronco or Transit, I get a phone call. Then we put the work order in, and then it goes to our fleet guy. Now, our fleet guy is only one person. He services 340 vehicles by himself.
One person.
One person. So, yeah,
That's incredible.
that is.
That sounds like we should have more than one.
Absolutely.
I'm glad
Absolutely.
see, he's got me on tape committing to this.
We talked about not throwing anybody under the bus on the
Oh,
microphone.
man.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, so, it's very important. Safety comes first. Oil changes, we can slack on it just a little bit, but we like to see them at least twice a year.
How many total buses are there?
175.
So twice a year, my easy math tells me 350. That's 350 oil changes if you do it twice a year. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's one a day.
Yeah.
Wow. One a day?
Three-
Oh, yeah, it would be, yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
about.
That's incredible.
And that's even Saturdays and
so-
Sundays. though.
And hold on. And that don't even, oh man, dump trucks, backpack blowers, generators,
Yeah.
weed eaters, snow blowers.
That's right. We forgot
Oh,
about
man.
the white fleet and the other instruments that we use to
Correct.
run the district.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. So when when is this gonna be done? When is this gonna get done? Just be patient with us. That's all. That's all I ask.
Timmy C, I see your guys out everywhere. How many tons of material do you drop off every year?
When we get our work orders, our supervisor breaks them down, gives them to the lead. There's 9 of us, 3 warehouse guys, custodial supplies, furniture, tables, chairs, money bags, mail. We just divide them up and get it done. As far as I know, we're caught up on everything. We're looking good as far as I know. So
You know how many miles a year you all drive?
I can tell you my van has 39,000, and I think it's 3 years old. So roughly 13,000.
Okay, 13,000 miles. That's a lot driving around just the
City.
city.
Yeah, just the
city.
Yeah, just the city driving around. That's
Yeah.
a lot. That's more than most people drive in a year with their own personal vehicles driving all over. Right. Raphael, how many of those you do a day?
How
I
many
mean,
what?
between your carpenter drive between eating my Laffy Taffies. I want the audience to know he eats my banana Laffy Taffies, and I'm gonna deduct that from his check. But go ahead.
So what's your question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You got my mouth watering over Laffy Taffy. I know where the stash is at too. It's getting kind of low.
He does. I try to hide it.
Yes.
Please
So
share
yeah,
that
yeah.
information.
Work orders and how do you go about determining what you do and how many and how often?
Work orders for me mainly. I get phone calls and then I'll call my foreman and then they'll submit the work orders. But most of the work I do is projects, moving different groups or departments from different buildings or to other buildings. I mean, we had all our higher ups were at Jackson last year, and I built a bunch of offices over at our building, and they relocated them. So I usually just do projects and build offices and cubicles, and that's pretty much the extent of my job for the most part.
You're going to be employed for a long time because we make lots of decisions and then we make another one and then another one,
Yes,
and you're
oh,
like,
man.
and you know what I love about Raphael? He never says this is really stupid. He just says, no problem, I got it, I'll build it.
Yeah.
My main man, Anthony. Now, I ride with him. I've ridden with him once or twice. I learned so much when we're riding together about what you do in plumbing and how important that is. I would just say to people, this is like a city, Dayton Public Schools. And it's almost like a family, too. Like every family should have their own personal mechanic. Every family probably changes lights, clocks. Every family probably has things delivered to the house. Every family wants something built. And guess what? If you have a plumbing issue, that is a problem. So this is my guy. Tell me how you prioritize and tell us what you do and how you do it.
Okay, so typically what happens in my day, first thing, I make me a hot cup of coffee because
He
I know,
does.
cause I know
That's
I'm
a
about to
fact.
deal with something. But typically I go through FMX in the morning and I base things, like Eric said, off of what's an emergency, whether it's a drippy faucet or whether you got a sink classroom flooding out. So when we assess that situation, I assign them to my guys, and I have all my guys have a certain zone of building. So I have 4 zones, 4 guys in zones of building. Each guy has 9 buildings. So I divide that up between them. Then the next thing I do is we have one guy that cleans drains for the whole district. Oh, man. And we divide that up. And then we go over projects and see where we go. And we also have things that we have to do as far as like once a year, every building has at least 3 backflow devices. A backflow prevents water cross-contamination in the building because plumbing ain't just the bathrooms. Plumbing is throughout the whole building. And a backflow device protects the city water supply and our water supply from any contaminants, like when the kids are drinking water and stuff like that. So I have to make sure we stay in compliance with the city and the county and all of that. And then I have to stay in compliance with our sprinkler systems. So we have to make sure once a month that we are visually inspecting the backflow devices, and then we have to turn them in and test them once a year to the county and make sure that that is happening. So, and that's just typical. Some days are easier than others, of course. But, I tell my guys, we try to approach everything like customer service. So if it was an actual business, like a plumbing company, you guys would be my customers. So I tell everybody, like, you want to go in there and put that best face forward when you're dealing with people, and always just go back and follow up. Hey, is there anything else you need? Is there something else going on? Because a lot of times stuff gets forgotten that we don't necessarily put out. And like I said, sometimes it could be simple. The teacher could be having a bad day. She could have been, the kids could be acting up or whatever. But if you go in there and they're always happy to see us.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen where they're mad when we come in to fix something.
They're always happy to see operations.
So and I try to build on that, and I tell my guys to build on that because we're all here for the same reason. It's for the kids and just to give them a good, clean environment to learn in. So
you said something really important about that cross-contamination of water. There are major things that we do across the board to create safe spaces for the entire operations. Like you said, we have to have mechanically safe buses because they're transporting children, right? And so I was excited to have operations on because I wanted people to know that you don't see them, but how critical they are to the operation itself. This is a true story. Christmas Day of 2022, December 25th. Anthony and I were at Kemp. There was a water main break. There was water all over Kemp. So you had operations people out on Christmas Day, not with their family, but dealing with that water in Kemp. And so those are the little things that I think that people don't see when they see operations. They just assume that it works all the time. Like things work or they don't. And when they don't work, they call and they get mad. But there's all type of things that they do. Again, I said in the beginning of the podcast, I wouldn't be a complete superintendent had I not worked in operations. So what's one thing or two or three that you really, really enjoy about your job? I would just say that for me, quickly, is that I have a schedule. And Sarita, I see you. Take some of those people off of it. I have a schedule, but sometimes I have a little bit of time in that schedule, and I get to kind of ride around and go see what's going on. I like the autonomy to be able to know that I have some space in my schedule where I can just drive around and see whatever I want to see. What's one thing, Raphael, about your job that you really love?
I like talking to people,
You do.
socializing, making people happy, pleasing people.
My staff is over there laughing. You
Yes,
do.
I like walking through the buildings and looking for issues that are safety issues for the kids and making sure the kids and the teachers and the building staffs are in a safe working environment. Now that brings me joy when I know that people are in safe environments and we're getting the most out of the staff and the most out of the kids.
Yeah, my team always loves to see you. Timmy Kubert, what's one thing about your job you enjoy? I would love driving around all day. That would be fun to me.
That is one thing. I actually like working by myself. I've been here 32 years, and that's kind of been my routine. We get a lot of negative feedback publicly. I don't think this place is bad to work at, man, to be honest with you. Money could always be better. I'll say that. Money could always be better, but, you know.
Hey, look here.
Yeah.
I want you all to know the negotiations
On
are starting.
camera,
You see
that's
this?
right, that's right.
He's speaking
Y'all
for
see this?
He's speaking for himself. I want to raise.
Me too. But I
Boy, I
enjoy
tell you,
working
these
here. I really
guys.
do. I enjoy working here. I do.
I can tell.
I've been raised through the system too. I went to Meadowdale, Cornell, Fairview, and Meadowdale High School.
Oh, hold on.
Two lions.
I didn't know you went to Meadowdale until you
More
said
like
that.
two kittens.
But yeah,
Always say
pretty much my whole life's been through the system, so I don't mind it. I like it.
Good deal. Earl, what's something about your job that you love? By the way, all of you, I can tell you love your jobs when I see you because you're all positive. None of you complain. Whoever picked this group on my podcast, they couldn't have done a better job.
I love the collaboration of all the groups that I deal with daily. I love it's like a puzzle. I love putting a puzzle together and see it through. So, like we have a bus that was in a vehicle accident. So seeing it destroyed and saying, "Oh my goodness, like how are we gonna put this back together?" And after it's done, it was well worth it.
Yeah.
And keeping that bus on the road. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I think I did a good thing today. So, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Eric, what's one thing about your job that you love?
I'm a huge into kids. I remember being young, and you know, you're innocent, not a care in the world. So I love going into the buildings and seeing all the kids, and you know, they're happy to be there. You know, they're high-fiving. I know somebody mentioned earlier how the kids will interact with you when you're working. What are you doing? You know, oh, you know, and you know, with me being an electrician, you know, it's usually something that is dangerous. So you know, you keep them at bay, but you know, I like to see that curiosity in their eyes. And like I said, you know, as you get older and a little bit more mature, you're like, man, I wish I was a kid again. So you know, you see all these kids, and that's my favorite part, honestly, is the kids.
You all are connected to us academically. What I mean by that is we're creating something through Forward Next Generation Learning, which is a whole-scale transformation of K-12, starting at high school, middle school, moving backwards. And it's about focusing on careers. So you all will be collaborating with us more often on the academic side. I don't think this has ever been done where we've taken operations folks and said, hey, you're part of the academic team too. And we want to create pathways and experiences for kids to hang out with you so they can say, hey, one day I might want to be a carpenter or an electrician. So we're really, really excited about that. Part of that came from our visit to Akron, but part of it too for me was when I was the business manager. I mean, I saw you all for not just operations people, but your careers, and you all do things that I can't do. I can't do my own plumbing. I'm not a mechanic. I can't hang anything. I have to call people and pay them a lot of money to do that. So I was super impressed, and I want kids to know that these are careers that they should aspire to too. We often talk about college, but this is college and career and military and own your own business ready. And if you have a skill like you all do, you can eat forever. Anthony, what's one thing, I think I know what you're going to say. What's one thing about your job that you love?
Can I say two things?
Okay, I got you.
One thing that I have a job, that's always a good thing. But no, actually, I'm going to go back with Eric. Being a product and coming from the district, actually, it really feels good it's like I'm giving a part of myself back when kids see me and they see a plumber and this and that, and I look like them, or, you know, I can relate to the kids and I can sit there and they just ask me questions. It's rewarding. Like, even on a bad day, like if I'm having the busiest day in the world, sometimes, me and you've talked about this, I'll go to Rosa Parks that day and just walk and see whatever work order I could do just to see the babies and just talk to them and just be like, everything's okay. So it's fun to see that innocence, and then you put yourself back in it. And it's really what it's all about, because the older you get, like he said before, you see what it's all about, and it's about inspiring and moving the next generation forward. That's really our jobs here. I may not be the educator, but I'm a father. I have kids, and I'm trying to push them forward. And if I could push other kids forward the same way, it's just a wonderful thing, and it's kind of rewarding to do. So, you know, that's something that looks forward to. And every day is different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not working on the same thing every day.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what I got. Like I mean, some days I have stuff scheduled, but I kind of don't know what's going to happen today. So it's just kind of like, you know what, get in and just test your skills. I don't know whether I'm going to be running pipe or dealing with something like this. So it's just kind of, it's never a boring, dull moment. So I love that about it.
Hey, listen, I say to the DPS family and those who are watching who are not part of the DPS family, this is been one of my favorite podcasts. You got a chance to hang out with the operations guys. Love these guys. They are going to do the job. They come to work. They don't complain. They care about children. Everybody in this organization who's not a teacher, I would hope that they care about children in the same way that my operations guys do. So my favorite job, I say this a lot, is not superintendent. My two favorite jobs are high school principal at Thurgood Marshall High School and business manager. I had a ball when I was a business manager, and who knows, maybe I see the backup superintendent over there. Maybe I'll let her take this job, and I'll go back to being a business manager. Peace.